Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel, and we've got some, bad news for you if you are using Amazon to supplement yourself during this very difficult time. Now, you all know I am no fan of Amazon, although in this trying time, you know what? Amazon is definitely helpful. Let's be honest. They have a huge infrastructure. They can ship things fairly fast. They've done a really good job at not only determining what items are essential and which ones are not essential, but they're paying their workers more during this time of crisis. I actually have to say Amazon is one of the few companies that is doing this right. And I wish I couldn't say that because I don't like the company, and I think that they might actually gain more power over the economy because of this in the long run, and I'm a little concerned about that. That said, if you are depending on Amazon to get you your stuff, you might want to be aware that you should not be depending on them too much longer. They might not be able to help you with your packages either at the rate things are going. Why? Because that creepy crud that we keep talking about is actually infecting more people, and there are now up to 10 cases from people in warehouses. And the reason this is bad is because people always say, like, well, who cares if it's just one person in warehouse? The problem is when that person goes to work and they're infected, who knows how many people they spread it to, who knows where the virus is. You have to actually close the warehouse for a good couple of weeks. And I think, if I recall, there's 6 or 8 warehouses that have had this. That's 6 or 8 warehouses that Amazon now has to completely close for a couple weeks while they disinfect everything, and all those workers have to go home. And look, it's just a perfect storm, really, because Amazon is in some ways, they're important right now. They can definitely get people stuff. The problem is they are like little petri dishes. They're like the movie theaters. They're like the theme parks. A bunch of people crowd into these places, and they're passing each other all the time, and they don't have masks. Jeff Bezos, we talked about this a few days ago. Bezos put in a personal order for a lot of masks. They don't have them yet. Medical supplies, hospitals, they have first dibs on the medical supplies right now, and they should. But that puts the Amazon workers at risk, and the cases are growing. So let's look at this article. Amazon last week confirmed its first known... Okay, that video is getting demonetized now. Actually, hold on one moment. Okay, now that we have edited out the utterance of the Voldemort word, as they say, the first known C virus case in the U.S. warehouse located in Queens, New York, which doesn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest. Nothing against New Yorkers. I love New York, but boy, you guys got hit tough there. In the heart of the country's current virus epicenter. Now it's grappling with a handful more cases around the country. Amazon employees in at least 10 warehouses, so it's more than I thought, in the U.S. have tested positive for this creepy crud. The disease caused by that word we cannot say, according to Amazon and local and national news reports. Workers tested positive for the disease at Amazon's facilities in Staten Island and Queens, New York, Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Jacksonville, Florida, Katy, Texas, Brownstown, Michigan, Moreno Valley, California. Oh, shoot, that's not too far from me. Joliet, Illinois. I think that's Illinois. Is that Illinois? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Illinois. Wallingford, Connecticut, and Oklahoma City. The Washington Post reported. Washington Post is owned by Amazon, by the way. Just I throw that out there. Citing several local news reports. Some of those facilities were shut down for cleaning, and some employees who were in close contact with the infected employees have been quarantined. Cases previously had been reported for warehouse employees in Spain and Italy, 2 major hotspots. Here's the problem with this, folks. This is the problem. I mean, look, Amazon has a lot of warehouses out there. Like 10 is probably not going to put a huge dent on their productivity. It'll do a little bit of a dent, but not much. But here's the thing. Again, these things are little petri dishes. You have a bunch of people going into a building. They're interacting with people. They're passing each other. And every time you close a warehouse, and they have to do it, they have to quarantine these people. They have to shut the warehouse down. They have to disinfect it. They have to do the whole process. That puts a dent in what they can ship. And if too many warehouses start shuttering down, then guess what? That's going to put a major dent in Amazon's ability to send anything to you for anything. Does it say here exactly how many warehouses they have? They don't. That's actually a good. That's a good question. Let's look this up. So, how many warehouses does Amazon own? Let's just look this up real quick. 140 warehouses. That's almost 10% of the warehouses that have been shuttered now that this creepy crud has infected them. What happens if in a week it's 30? What happens if the week after that it's 50? You start to see the problem here. And when one of these cases shows up, then you have like dozens of people who potentially caught this thing. They have to be quarantined with their families. This is why it gets so ugly. It's pretty scary. Now that said, the virus might not be the only thing that's being affected. You want to know that something that is vitally important to everyone, including Amazon, that, well, if that gets shut down, then it doesn't matter how many warehouses are open. Well, the post office, because they're right now talking that the post office might be shuttered by June. And yes, I'm aware the post office is considered essential business, but let's take a look at this Business Insider article. The U.S. Postal Service could be kaput by June without financial help, according to a warning from 2 lawmakers on the committee with jurisdiction over the USPS. That's not just bad news for all the places that still like to send physical junk mail instead of just emailing it, which I've gotten a lot less of that, by the way, but also Amazon, which still depends on USPS services. Now, it should be noted that Amazon started creating their own delivery services. They have Amazon Flex, they have their own trucks. So here's the thing. Amazon will still have a way to deliver packages. They just won't have the way, but they still depend on a lot of USPS. They wanted to get away from USPS probably because, hey, they want to be dependent on themselves and they want to control the market because, that's what they do. Or that's what they want to do anyway. But as of right now, they're still dependent on USPS. So this is not good for them. Representative Caroline Maloney and Jerry Connolly said in a statement on Tuesday that the creepy crud is plummeting mail volumes and that USPS is, quote, in need of urgent help from Congress and the White House. By the end of the summer, Maloney and Connolly said the USPS could shut down unless it receives swift emergency funding. Now, we did recently pass a stimulus package, and we don't know all the details. I don't think USPS has been included in that stimulus package. They very well might have to be heavily considered for the next stimulus package. The lawmakers warned that the shutdown would cut off Americans from vital goods and services and impair voting by mail because, hey, yeah, we have an election coming up. And voting by mail might be the way we have to do it. We might not be going to the polls this year. You never know. Well, okay, I think we're going to be going to the polls. I think by November this thing will be well behind us. But that said, a lot of people like to vote by mail. So, if the USPS goes under before we even get to November, well, then that could be a problem. Another direct impact not highlighted in yesterday's warning would be your Amazon Prime deliveries. While Amazon has rapidly in-house its delivery network in recent years, the mega retailer still depends on the USPS to deliver many orders. As recently of July 2019, the USPS delivered around a third of Amazon packages, according to data from Rakuten Intelligence. Amazon also pledged last April that it would deliver all Prime packages in one day. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening for a while. In rural America, the USPS would be a major part of that. So here's a chart, as you can see, and percentage of share of last mile deliveries. You can see FedEx is way down here. UPS is down here. USPS is definitely going down. Amazon is going up. I mean, it's interesting that UPS is still doing fairly well. Probably because that's people. Right now that's one of the few packages. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. So, yeah, this is it contributed to a $62.4 billion loss. This is Amazon could be in trouble. Are they going to go out of business? Probably not. Probably not. They're too big for that. Although, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I don't know. That's the thing. It would be curious to see what would happen in a situation if the mail basically stopped. Like, what is Amazon's business at that point? I guess they're selling digital goods at that point. And some people might be saying, well, this is why Amazon wanted to get out of their business with USPS. And they wanted to have their own trucks and everything. No, Amazon wanted to get out of that because they wanted to control the distribution. That's why. They want to control every aspect of production and distribution. So what their ultimate goal was they were going to create their own little delivery service. They were eventually going to become self-reliant on themselves, and then they were going to take business away from USPS, UPS, and FedEx. They were just going to take their business away. The problem is, right now, they're still depending heavily on USPS, and USPS might shutter. So I don't know what Amazon's solution in this case is, other than to wait out and hope for the best. But yeah, you've got this, and then you've got these warehouse sicknesses coming up. Amazon is not immune to this catastrophe. No one is. And it is going to be curious to see what happens with people who, can't get their stuff by the mail. I guess more stores are going to open, maybe the local economy. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, this is all new territory. I don't think we're going to be reopened by Easter. I think we're going to be on lockdown at least until mid-May, which, hey, you know what? I've got my food, I've got my water, I've got my TV shows and movies. I will definitely do my part. I will be making my videos probably more than usual. Maybe even turn the monthly podcast into a weekly podcast. Who knows? That said, this is definitely very interesting times that we're living in, and I want to know what your thoughts on it are. Are you buying more stuff from Amazon, and how would this personally affect you? And here's the other thing I forgot to mention. It's not just Amazon. Like, I'm trying to buy from other sites and small businesses as much as I possibly can because I don't want to give Amazon as much money as possible. So I've been buying from Best Buy, Lemley Theaters. I've been buying from Vaughn's. I've been buying from Albertsons, Target. I've been buying from Torpedo Comics. Like, I've been buying stuff online. But here's the thing. USPS doesn't just affect Amazon. It affects all these companies. So if they go down, it's not just Amazon that gets hurt. It's everybody. Although at that point, everybody who has their own stores will probably be glad they still had real estate. But yeah, what do you think about this? How much are you buying from Amazon? How much will this affect you? Do you think USPS is actually going to go under, or do you think they'll be saved? Do you think the government will bail them out next time? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.